Hello, hello, everybody. Happy freaking Friday. It's a beautiful day. And we're talking about the latest episode of the Mango Men and Other Manifestations, which was called The Mango Mistress. And I'm excited to do a giveaway today. It's going to be a little surprise. So I'm going to actually pick the name, and then that person's going to reach out to me, and I'm going to tell them what their prize is rather than revealing it to everybody. This chapter was very, 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 very fun to write. It was a lot to write. It was a lot to write, but it was a magical experience. And a lot of you started reaching out to me after I had written it, letting me know that you also enjoyed it. For anyone who is new and tuning in, just want to tell you all that you can read it right now. It's on Substack. You can still submit your vote. I usually try and linger a little bit in case you haven't left a comment or liked the post, but it has a podcast along with an article that is usually attached to it as the story. It's the chapter for that week, and it drops every single week. And each time, everybody gets to guess whether or not the story was true. And then I talk about it, and I talk about relationships, and you're able to ask your questions on here live. And we also talk about it sometimes in the Art of Love and Magnetism, which is usually on Fridays, usually before this live. And yeah, it was, today's class was also really fun. We did Boundaries as Love, which was phenomenal. It was very emotional as well. Realizing for some folks, boundaries is the only way you're going to navigate a healthy life in this world, and still maintain a sense of happiness, deep self-love, and compassion for the world around you. Having boundaries is a way to also not cause trauma to yourself and anybody else, because people know how to interact with you. They know how to talk to you. And you end up receiving what it is that you are needing in that moment. And you'd be surprised how many people go through life living without boundaries. And it definitely tied into this chapter of the Mango Mistress and boundaries and communication and all sorts of stuff. This chapter, which, I'll just start talking about it. Hi, Christine. How are you? I emailed you. I'm excited to see you today. How goes it? How's life? This chapter, as I shared, was definitely a journey of lessons. And everybody else, you're welcome to share in the comments, what you've experienced on your life journey with your soul expansion, and where you maybe have not had boundaries. Like as I was writing this, it's so easy in hindsight to reflect on things that you've been through in your life and relationships you've been in, friendships you've had. And it's just easy to judge yourself, and it's easy for you to judge other people's stories because you can take the bird's eye view now, and you have all the pieces. But when you're navigating relationships, or you're navigating like a marriage or a friendship, or you're working 9 to 5 or running your business, when you're in it, you can't always take the bird's eye view because you're in it. And so it was just a really great chapter to write, while also having moments which I found to be unique, of like, knowing that I needed to do something but not quite being able to do it. Yay, you got the results. Okay, I haven't checked my email yet, so definitely send them over if you haven't already, for tonight. I'm excited. And again, everybody, you're welcome to share about, you know, your own life lessons that you have experienced on your soul's expansion journey around boundaries, and maybe even where you wish you had boundaries, but you just didn't have them at the time. Honestly, after looking back at this chapter with the mango mistress, I had contemplated like, oh, do I actually feel like I wish I had different boundaries with them? And I feel like it's easy to say, yeah, of course I wish I did, but I wouldn't have learned the lessons that I learned. And I am going to reveal whether or not that, like, what parts of the chapter is real and what's not. And I'll be reading through the comments, but again, like, you know, sometimes even when you don't have the boundaries and you look back, it's like the most beautiful lesson you ever could have learned. And you know, as I've said before, my friend says life is like a scavenger hunt, and you're constantly trying to put the pieces together of this life puzzle. And usually when you don't have those boundaries, that's when you find that puzzle piece and you can place them where they need to be. But that's the lesson of learning. And if you had perfect boundaries, you wouldn't be going through your soul expansion and, you know, healing and learning about communication and learning about love and love languages and soul lessons. Requires you to not know everything. It requires you to not know everything, and to look back on your story with the knowledge that you have now and judge it at all is just completely unfair. It's completely unfair. So everybody, you know, give yourself some grace as you reflect back on relationships or relationships that you're in right now that, like, you know, you're not quite sure how you got into, and you're not quite sure if you want to keep them, or you're not quite sure what to do. Just give yourself some time and some space to reflect on whether or not it aligns with who you are and what you're calling in this stage of your life. But I'm going to bring up the Substack and share some of the comments. Again, if you haven't read it or left a comment, I highly recommend you do that. Hopefully it loads. My internet's being a little funky because right now I can't see anything. Have you read chapter 7? People who are tuning in, have you read chapter 7? Have you been following along? Let's see if I can get to it. I'm hoping I can. It's gonna be funny if I can't. I'm not gonna know. Otherwise, I might have to pull it up on my computer. But let's see here. My internet's been all weird today. How is everybody else's energy today? How are you all doing? Yeah, I can't. Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay, I was able to pull it up. Yay! Now to get to the comments, because now I'm stuck. I love this energy. What the heck? Oh my goodness, people. What is going on here? I feel like my energy today is a little funky. That's probably why. Let me see the post. Okay, there we go. Okay, so chapter 7, the mango mistress. I'm going to read some of the comments. So this one said, Oh, someone put a green and they said enchanting makes me believe it's true. It's a good guess. I'm going to read some of these longer ones actually, because I love the longer ones. Oh my gosh, this is wild. With a shock face. I unfortunately think it's true. Unfortunately think it's true. And though some scenes sounded so enchanting and magical, but yeah, that was a big lesson on protection. And this part makes me believe it's true. Connecting with your Sybil family. So yes, this is why I think it's a green heart. So you have, I think almost everybody put a green heart except for one person. These wild adventures definitely take you to places you'd never imagine actually going. Thanks for sharing the mango, Mistress. So true. I loved reading and listening to this. It was a beautiful roller coaster of emotions, and somehow I feel like I was right there experiencing the journey. A great relationship falling into your lap naturally after letting go of one that wasn't working can make it that much harder to let go, even when you later realize you need to. The part with the masculine spirit was wild. I think you had to connect with her in part to help her get it removed. And then she quotes part of it. How many of you are in connection with some of your exes? I made a comment in this story. If you hadn't read it, I basically compared exes to people's pets. And I had said they might shit on their carpet, fuck up a few relationships, but they love them just the same. And that does not mean for everybody that I think exes are awful, but I do think that there should be a boundary with certain people that you keep in your life, especially when it comes to navigating building a foundation in your relationship. And I'm also an energetic teacher. And when you hold on to the past so tightly, it makes it really hard for you to manifest anything good coming into your life, especially with love. So I just wanted to clarify that for everybody. But I personally thought it was hilarious. I thought it was funny. Nia also thought it was funny. Someone said the plot spicy and love I could sense was so deep and divine. What a beautiful experience. And they put a red heart on that one. So it's kind of a mixed bag. And we also talked about it on some of the other lives. People had voted, but didn't leave a comment yet. And so, yeah, I'm giving away a spot at next week's The Art of Love and Magnetism, which I'm super excited about. I said I wasn't going to say it, but I said it anyways because I had to change my mind. So I'm going to put some folks' names in, and then I'm going to pull it out. And then I'm going to tell you whether or not this story was true. Hi, Zawadi. How are you? How are you? We miss you in Z School for the Gifted. Last night we did Tarot 101. It was a lot of fun. We did some activity things. We're going to be doing movie night things. I'm pumped about it. I hope you can hear me. I know your thing has been not working so well. But we're talking about relationships and boundaries and exes. So I'm going to put people's names onto some paper. And then I'm going to pull out of a doohickey as I usually do. And then I'm going to head out. So I've got lots of things to do today on this lovely Friday. And I hope you all are doing fabulously. Let me see what you put. I'm alive and grateful. Thanks for asking. How are you? My data on my phone is back. Oh, yay. Amazing. You're back. I'm glad that you're doing well and you're feeling grateful. Grateful is the best energy to be in when you're manifesting, and even when you are just navigating any sort of soul expansion is necessary. You can't get through any of the things without it. So I'm really proud of you and really happy for you. I'm doing really well. I decided today to Zawadi, you didn't put a comment. I don't see your comment on here. I just wrote down the names. I don't have a comment for you on Substack. If you were trying to enter, I don't have your name, a comment from you yet. Do you want me to put the link? I'll put the link so you can comment. Here we go. It's the Mango Mistress, so make sure you comment on the right one. Yeah, they were saying that in the chat too. Someone had sent a message, but you can now. There you go. I'm hoping to win. I really need that win. I'll put your name down and you can comment on there right now. I'll give you a moment. Zawadi. Yeah, apparently it started defaulting to me charging for comments. Like weird stuff has been happening to my tech. And then I was like, what's happening here? Like people couldn't comment, and then it was like it was only for subscribers or paid subscribers that could comment. And then on my YouTube, one of my videos was public instead of like, I don't really know. I was like, this is just is the energy today. Of course, happy to help you. Anybody else who wants to vote, you better add your comment right now. Add your comment right now. And then we'll see. I will pick. I love making the podcast for this. I'm excited for this next chapter. This next chapter. Ooh, ooh. Hi, Albert. Hi, Al. Excuse me. I'm sleepy today. It also is like thunder and tropical rains. And so when it's cloudy, I'm like, I want to lay down and read a book. So I feel like that's going to be my weekend. It's going well. How are you, Elle? We were just discussing boundaries and things like that and how it kind of tied into this chapter. You're welcome to also share how you are doing and any lessons you've learned around boundaries also. Because as I was saying earlier, it's like easy in hindsight to like judge yourself or say that you needed boundaries and all this stuff. But it's like when you're in it, it's so hard to notice. It's so hard to notice. Or in my case with this story, which I haven't said whether it was true or not, knowing that you need to do something and having a hard time doing it is also challenging. You know, a big sign of also going through a lot of trauma. When it's the same thing when, you know, if someone is in a really awful abusive relationship and they have a really hard time leaving, and some people are like, I don't understand why you're not leaving. And it's like, well, you haven't been as traumatized about this situation. And you know, it's very, very easy to judge yourself. But this one was really fun to write. I really enjoyed it. It was a last minute chapter that I wasn't intending on writing about. I wasn't intending including it. Fini. Okay. Fabulous, Zawadi. Oh, yeah. I got it. Ooh. It was a bit entangling. Tell me about sweetness you can't let go. You're funny. Oh, you put a green heart. I didn't see that coming. Sometimes when people start writing their comments, I'm like, oh, it sounds like they're gonna vote a different way, and then it's totally not what I was expecting. It's like the opposite of what they say. Or I just don't understand what people are saying most days. I'm waking up, had vivid dreams, boundaries. I've been new to using them, but they're easier now. Good. Aw. Yeah. Boundaries are something I feel like you just learn with time. And you don't always realize when you don't have them until it's too late. I mean, it's never really too late to set a boundary, but sometimes it is. I think it's okay to talk about relationships and the fact that like it was definitely too late in that case. Right. But I feel like the boundary with yourself in terms of choosing yourself, it's never too late to do that. It's never too late to do that. I'm loving your hairstyle. Thank you. I actually, it's like I have two French braids and I kind of tucked it under. I used to wear my hair like this quite a bit. I'm more of like an updo type of person. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to start doing that again. I also swim a lot in the ocean now, and I just prefer my hair in braids. I feel at ease. I feel like very much so at ease. Thanks for the compliment. Simple and cute. Yeah, that's how I feel. I'm in this phase of like, just go with the flow, be comfortable, like throw on my bathing suit, have my dress, not have a lot of fuss. Like, I don't like a lot of fuss. And yeah. And sometimes, like when you have braids, you can just swim and do all the things. You don't have to deal with your hair all the time. You can just swim in your braids, rinse your braids, and be done with your braids. You know what I mean? But it's also a protective style. And I love like I'm really big at protecting my hair. So it's great. And if you leave it in braids, you can just put your little silk scarf on and wake up and like, oh, you look so cute. I didn't do anything. Okay, let me put these names into a cup. Okay, scratch the cup. I'm going to use a bowl. Okay. I'm going to see who is the winner. This is exciting. This is exciting. I want to pick this one. Let's see who it is. It's Jamila. Jamila, you have 24 hours to send me an email. You have 24 hours to send me an email and claim this prize. So you have until tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. my time, which I don't know what time it is for you right now. Maybe, I don't remember where you are. You might be on the East Coast. Jamila, you win. You have until tomorrow. If you don't claim your prize, that's it. That's it. That's it. And it's a free spot at the Art of Love and Magnetism. Today was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. We went over boundaries as love and magnetism. It was so much fun. It was really, really great. Today's class was awesome. We did some journaling as well, reflecting, opening up, all the things. Friday's class is a lot of fun. Hi, Aubrey. Yay for Jamila. Exactly. So for this story, was it fact or was it fiction? It was a true story. It was a true story. It was a true story. It was a very magical journey. Elle, I think your comic kind of summed it up the best, in my opinion. Mon opinion. It was. Why is this so hard for me to see the freaking things? I just had your thing up. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, I can't bring it up. It's not letting me bring it up for some reason. I don't know what's going on. Have so much fun. Good. I'm glad you're going to the store. Go have lots of fun. Are you going to look for jeans and all the things? Yeah, you're getting good at guessing. This last chapter was 100% true. It was really fun to write. It felt like my soul really needed to write it for whoever, whatever. But also, I really wanted to normalize just going with the flow within your growth, and not judging yourself, it was a very intimate relationship. I feel honored that I was in that relationship. I feel super honored. Our souls were meant to find each other. To be honest, I feel like we had also talked about getting married and all these things. I feel like there were definitely moments where we knew it wasn't really going to work, but the love and the foundation and the caring for each other was there. And then the spiritual part was just a bonus. But I feel like it was the first time in one of my relationships that I really saw like what happens when two highly spiritual people come together, and it's like a lineage thing, like your side of the lineage being really strong and their side of the lineage being very strong, and what can happen when spiritual like ancestry crosses like that, and both people divine and both people speak to those who passed and like are open to energy. Like it was a wild ride, and it was probably one of the most magical things I've ever experienced in my entire life, and I'm so grateful for it. The day after you gave us the making iron cross tip, I went out to our flea market and a fellow was selling iron nails for 50 cents each. See, everything happens for a reason, right? Everything happens for a reason. The universe always speaks. We are all freakishly psychic and meant to have a magical life. Oh, I think Claire's comments are catching up. Zawadi didn't win. Jamila won. Oh, yeah, there we go. Oh, fingers crossed. Yeah, it was a very wild thing. Oh my gosh, off topic little. I had these two scary dreams. They felt so real. I felt like I got shot in my back, then what felt like something warm eyes came out of my mouth, probably blood. You're picking up on a lot of different spirits. So I don't know what's going on right now, but last night's class, we also talked a lot, like in Z School for the Gifted. In Terror 101 turned into like Possession 101 and spirits and walk-ins and that kind of stuff. I'm reading your energy. You are likely picking up on just someone else's story. Everybody needs to work on their shielding. And you need to revisit your soul contracts. That's what I was telling them too. Your dreams are going to be very, very vivid right now. Everybody's gifts are opening. Everybody's gifts are strengthening, ascending, doing all the things, but they're going to be very strong, very strong. So any gifts that need to come online, like possession or being psychic or whatever, like it's going to be freakishly strong right now. And it's going to continue to be that way. It's going to continue to be that way because you're meant to use them. You can ask the spirit who they are if you want. Second, a group of guys was running me down to trigger warning. He's so crazy. Yeah, you probably have a bunch of ancestors that are trying to get through to you to tell you their story. It's normal. Your energy is way too open. At like, but there's also a lot of generational healing that has to be done alongside with the stories, because while yes, we are kind of vessels for our ancestors, sometimes there's a lesson there. You need to work on your shielding. It's not strong enough anymore. And you need to ask those ancestors if they need help. Ask them if they need help. They likely need help moving on, or there's something they need to tell you. That used to happen to me a lot. I would love a class on shielding and protection. Okay, let me write it down. Let me write it down. Let me write it down. Hold on. If I don't write it down, it's gone. You write it down here, shielding. I'm also gonna, today is Insight Timer Day after last night's conversation. I'm gonna be pumping out these things and hope that they can get through. If not, next week is the dealio because I'll be in the studio. So Aubrey, do you do shielding and protection right now? I woke up in the middle of the night and was freaked out by the painting hanging by my side in the room. It was so dark. I was like, what is that? I also practice shielding more. Seriously, I will give you my card just to learn. Yeah. Well, we can always, let me see what was scheduled for next class. You know, I'm quite flexible in here. I will change it if people need help with something else. So, oh, that's weird. That's perfect, actually, because it looks like my interesting self put Tarot 101 for both classes for this week and next week. I wonder why. Or should I do Tarot Part 2? Maybe we should do shielding and protection. Everybody's been getting possessed a lot lately, and we should probably do shielding and protection. There's a lot of spirits out right now. And if you've been making these leaps, sweet baby Jesus, sweet baby Jesus. Honestly, I don't know how to. I just do whatever I feel guided to do, but I would love to know what to do. Okay, good. Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, there's a lot of different ways I can channel something. That's how I teach. But it's not a coincidence that like almost like half the people yesterday in class were like, how do I have boundaries? How do I, there's spirits. How do I, like, it was all possession. I was like, yeah, it's a thing. It happens a lot. And they're like, I'm feeling like and I'm like, yeah, that's also a spirit. Your portal's open in the back. It's like, Oh, my gifted children. Happy to teach. I'll change it right now. Shielding and protection. See, you speak up, you get what you need. Okay, I'd like to ask about prices also for services, especially starting out. That's good to discuss for Magic to Market class. Yeah, business questions, go to Magic to Market. If you want to do, like, we can plan out your business stuff. It's all like, you can price based on the market, but like if you're first going out of the gate with your prices and you're still a little unsure and that kind of stuff, I always go with do your energetic capacity first if you already have the means to feed yourself, and like work towards a number, or you can just go out of the gate based on the market. Whatever is right for you, whatever feels right. My prices change. I usually reevaluate them every quarter and whenever God tells me to, God's time. Because sometimes God's like, hey, I need you to change this to this price. And it's for like very specific reason, like a client or something is about to come in and they're going to pay for that, which is then going to get me to the next location. That's basically how I live life. Where can I sign up? Yeah, let me share the link right now. Aubrey, I already forgot what time zone you're in. What time zone did you say? I already forgot. I think I asked you. Did I ask you yesterday? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Here, I'll put it in the chat. Eastern. Okay. So for everybody, there is a little drop down where you can change to your specific time. I'm putting it right now, shielding and protection, so that it's on the calendar. And I'll share the calendar link too. Shielding and protection. Boom. This event. I have to be careful. Sometimes I accidentally change all the events and I'm like, I just spent so long putting in all the topics and then I just erase them all. Of course, happy to help, Zawadi. Yeah, shielding and protection, everybody needs it. It's like, and basically what we were kind of talking about last night and hinting at, you know, because people are like, well, how do I know if it's my gifts, or how do I know if like it's trauma? How do I know it's the only way to know that is if you heal. The only way to know that is if you heal. And the only way to get better at using your gifts and like being expansive within your energy, like you have to heal. There is no fucking way, because you add in one, your natural cycle, let's say as a femme since the dawn of time, and you know, hunters and gatherers and being connected to the moon and like highly being psychic and all these things and learning how to read people, and then you like carry that with all of your ancestral trauma, and then you add on the intersectionality of being a femme in the US or wherever you are and you're part of the world, and then you add the intersectionality of like being a person of color, and then maybe you add the sectionality of intersectionality of like being LGBTQI or being neurodivergent, and there's all these things that just keep piling and piling and piling on, and then it's like, well, how do you know who you actually are and what your gifts are? We have to sort through everything else in order to see what you can do and how you can navigate life from a healthier place that's more grounded. And if you experience trauma with your family and now you're just hyper vigilant, but you think it's a gift, right? Or maybe they're like blending the two, right? Like it's a journey, y'all. Happy to share. the fee for doing soul contracts. Soul contracts you make on your own. What are you asking? Oh, okay. If I would do it with you, I don't know. I haven't really priced it out. I would probably just follow like my tarot reading, which is like me live for 20 minutes is like 144 because it's kind of basically similar vibe, and then it just goes up from there. That kind of stuff. Because like my one-on-one time is more than my group fee. That makes sense. I also had a FaceTime with Nia last night after I was nice and cool. We got paired randomly. Yeah, that was, I just did universe thing. She did a reading for me too. It applied. She said 7 of Swords came in reverse, I think too. Yeah, last night was so fun. It made me like really, this retreat, like I really want to put you all in one place because I feel like I literally would like, it was in that moment I was like, oh my gosh, I almost feel like I can feel you all like very close in proximity, and I'm like, that's going to be so much fun. So much fun. And having you all do your readings for each other and literally having you come back and all be laughing like children as if you did something wrong was the funniest thing I think I have seen in a very long time. Like I was like, this warms my heart so much. And you're like, we need more time. I was like, okay. It felt like summer camp or something. Like, we need time. Like, what are you up to in there? We just need more time. Like, why do I feel like you're up to no good? Like, what is happening? And I'd never seen that before. I was like, oh, interesting. I didn't know what to think about that. She was sweet and it was fun. Yeah, journal on it. Journal on it. I'm glad you had a lot of fun. Yeah, that was so much fun to be a part of. Yay! I'm glad. Yeah, it was really cool. It was really fun to witness, and again to see like everyone's evolution from when they first joined to now being so confident in reading and channeling and help. Oh fuck. Sorry. I was supposed to create I was supposed to create a channel for you all on Discord. I need to do that today. I won't forget. Do. I'm gonna have to like really remember. Oh, there we go. I'm just gonna do it right now before I forget. How's that, everybody? Doing it right now. Why won't it make me? How come I can't do a capital C? Okay, it's there for you all whenever you need it. It should work. You all can let me know. We can try it later. I think everybody can. I think everybody can join. Pretty sure. I think I did it right. for Z School for the Gifted. And for anybody who's new, when you join Z School for the Gifted or go to Z School for the Gifted, you get access to the private chat. So everybody who's been in Z School for the Gifted can now be in there. So it's there. It's there. You can tell me too. You should be able to see it. It's called Community Gathering Room. So everybody knows. Now you can continue to do your readings and lessons and all the fun things in there. It's really great. Yay! Yeah, I mean, I really just want to make sure that you all have what you need to be able to share your gifts with the world and continue to build with community and have chats and video, like whatever you want to do. So let me know if anything else is needed. But it is a perk, which is good because, you know, I know how it is sometimes being on your spiritual journey and you're really trying to find folks that you have commonalities with. And when you're building a spiritual business, a divinely led business, it can feel quite weird. It can feel really weird. And you kind of question your you know, like your abilities because you're healing your trauma. And so what's great about this space and all being together as a community and the Divine Academy and More Than Worthy and all this stuff is that you can safely navigate your gifts while also connecting with people who are doing the same thing as you. Because clearly you're all meant to be in the same place. And you can ask your questions and safely be possessed in my space. And I'm not gonna call you crazy. I'm gonna be like, okay, we're gonna handle this. I can't have you be walking around looking all glazed like that. It's not gonna happen. I appreciate you for acting so quickly on that class. I've been practicing to act on things right away, and that helps me to just go ahead and book the class without thinking about it. Yay! Of course, I'm always happy to help. I always encourage people, like if you, I'm proud of you for saying something because I tell people all the time, and even in Z School for the Gifted, like when you're in the chat, like just tell me what you need because likely if you need it, everybody else needs it as well. And you know, I'm a teacher. And so my job is to be a community educator. And I can teach you things that I believe are going to be helpful. And then I also invite you to share your feedback. So I know what, you know, parts of your life that you're struggling with because I can help. So happy to take action. And I'm glad that you're taking action. I'm big on taking action. It's like something I do. It's something I teach for a living. There's also in the spiritual space, it's easy to be in hermit mode and not want to take action. But, you know, and also when you surround yourself with people who take action, it becomes easier for you to take action. And I love all of the friends that I have. And I love this community because everybody is like, taking action. And that's what I want you all to be able to do. I want you to be able to take action and have fun and like do the things that you love and make an impact. But that can't happen unless people actually choose it. Oh, all the hearts. I have been used to speaking up and being seen, but I haven't been used to speaking up and being seen, but I'm coming out of my shell. Yes, come out of your shell. It's great out here. The water is warm. Mostly. When you were younger, were you in your shell or were you out of your shell? I would love to know. Yes, very true. I love my new group of friends. It's like everyone that I'm meeting now are on the same path. Yeah, exactly. Because they're a reflection of you and your energy. Your energy. We were talking about that today. You know, like when you start to set boundaries with yourself, when you stop masking who you are, people know how to treat you. They know how to interact with you, and you receive what you want because if you're so unsure about life, then you receive really weird things as manifestations that don't make sense, because our own energy will not make sense during that time. And so that's why clarity is one of the most powerful things that you can do. Um, and just take it one day at a time. Take action, no matter how small, no matter how small. Um, if you can take action in one realm, you can take action in all the other realms. It takes practice, right? Choosing to wake up that day, choosing to get out of bed, celebrating that, choosing to drink some water, choosing to turn your phone off if you need a break, choosing to take time off, choosing to spend time with your family if you miss them, choosing to not be around your family if you don't miss them. Choosing self-education or community education, like choosing every single time. I was in my shell when I was younger. Okay, my family didn't really get me, so I created imaginary friends. Yeah, that's so normal. It's so normal. It's actually very common. A lot for gifted kids as well. I was also the same way. My mom actually was telling me about it before I left. She's like, "You've always kind of kept to yourself." And I was like, "Well, I've always felt misunderstood, so better to be creative." But she honors it now. She honors it now. Um, but it does happen. And I was like, I never felt like I could tell you anything, because I was like, still, if I tell you, I don't feel like you'll believe most of the things I say, so I just don't tell you. My other sister is very intuitive. She just knows. And she'll come over and be like, "So my head is throbbing. Is it my third eye?" She's opening up. But it's true. Like you have to learn to be seen and feel safe being seen. And you're going to go through a journey of sabotaging, and then you're going to go through a journey of love, and then you're going to pull back, and then you're going to hermit, and then you're going to do it again, and all these things until it feels like you feel at home in the spaces around you. But yeah, I also feel like when kids are really gifted and they kind of keep to themselves, they're not as lonely in some cases, you know, they're not as lonely as some cases because they have the spiritual realm and they have other things around them that they're leaning into. And they don't feel disjointed when they go around the spirit, like when they're in their spiritual realm, they feel disjointed around people because people can be chaotic, especially if they're imbalanced. Let your light shine bright. Yeah, I was in my shell too. That's relatable. Yeah, it's so common. Yes, same. You resonate so much. I wish you would have listened to me. I was going through a lot alone. Yeah, it's unfortunate how that can happen. Um, have you made peace with that? Sometimes it's tricky to make peace, and sometimes you think you make peace, and then we haven't really made as much peace as we've thought. And when when I was leaving, my family just knows like not to call me. Like they can text me, but like I've never been someone who enjoys phone calls. Um, and so they were like, make sure you check in and make sure you call. And I was like, why don't you check in with me? You can text me. And then like someone said, oh, like don't forget to call. And then I was like, I don't call. And they're like, sorry, I just kind of like said it. They're like, we know you don't like to call. It's like, well, thanks for honoring it. They're like, will you at least just tell us when you're alive? And I was like, yeah, of course. It's like, I'm going to keep to myself. And then, grandma's like, you never call me. Grandma, I don't call nobody. Love you. I'm like, you don't even call anybody. What are you talking about? I know that I was never alone. It was more so the people she would bring around me. I tried telling her, yeah, sometimes parents have a hard time listening to their children because they think they know better. or they need something in that moment. They don't even have the capacity to hear anything from a child. I'm trying to now. I'm glad you're trying to find peace with it. It's important. This definitely struck a nerve. Yeah. I don't, yeah, it's just so unfortunate that so many people have gone through it, but you know, people are a product of their experiences growing up, and that does not excuse them from anything. But sometimes it helps to find peace that way, you know, and you don't necessarily have to feel empathetic for them either. You just you come to that space of like that life was what it was. It was what it was, and I did my best, even if I felt like I didn't have what I needed. But I know what I need now. And maybe if I don't fully know what I need now, I know that I have the capacity to try and figure it out. And I know that that person or my parents are not the ones to be able to provide it for me. Um, and and so I have to reparent myself in whatever way that looks like, and give myself what I never received, but I wanted to receive, even if I couldn't articulate it, right? Like children aren't supposed to be able to articulate that to a parent. And I feel like I see a lot of parents when they spend time with their children, like they like force them into using their words to share how they are feeling and all these things. And I'm like, well, yes, sometimes that is advantageous. It's a tiny child who has limited vocabulary and is already trying to regulate themselves and is probably so upset they just want to smack you because that's the only thing that they know. And so when you like force them to have these types of communications like an adult, it doesn't work. But like it's a lot of people who have children don't realize that they're not ready. They're not ready to have children. And I don't care what people say, like, oh, you're never going to be ready for, no. You can use that line of like, it's never going to be perfect timing when it's not a child. When it's not a child. You can use it on anything else, right? Like creating a business, doing all these things, but not when it involves another human being. There is a better timing. There is going to be better timing if you have not done your work and all those things. And obviously there's circumstances where people have children and it wasn't their choice. But if you have a choice, pause, you know? Creating a sense of safety for myself right now feels so different than what I'm used to. I remember feeling chaos was so normal. So I'm adjusting. It's a different and good way. Yeah. You don't realize how chaotic life was before until you have the peace, right? It's so weird to think about. Yes, I want peace. It is what it is. Yeah. Hi, Angela. Oh my goodness, I was thinking about making cacao before I got on here. I want all the cacao. Needed to hear this today. Oh, yay. I am definitely parenting myself for sure. Yeah, what's in your cacao? Cinnamon, nutmeg, and a little bit of sugar. I wanted to put vanilla in it, but I don't have any. It's yummy. I love vanilla. I love fresh vanilla. I love vanilla from the islands. Fresh vanilla. Like, get that fresh. Yes, yum is good. But yeah, like reparenting yourself is just, everybody has to do it. I mean, luckily, we're in the stage of this world where people are becoming more and more familiar with it in some way, shape, or form. It sounds and looks different in different communities, but it's about the same. Like someone I was recently talking to, the one who was like obsessed with Jungian's psychology, was kind of dipping into it. And it was their first time really learning about it and shadow work and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, it looks different for different communities, but people are like, especially if they're energetically led, they're kind of being led in that way to do healing, which is what I'm grateful for. Also, sugar, not the best sweetener, but I'm craving it like crazy. So I'm allowing it. What are you craving? Sugar? Do you like maple syrup? Maple syrup has lots of nutrients and is a lot better for the body than cane sugar. Also, when are you craving it? I have so many questions. When are you craving it? Why are you craving it? No, I can handle the why. When are you craving it? How's your eating habits been? How's your belly? Tell me all the things. I'm drinking it now. Hi, Ancient Eyes. Hi, everyone. Hey. Y'all are funny. Yeah. By the way, everybody, next week's class is on shielding and protection because folks are getting possessed like a you know what. And we need to get ahead of this. Shout out to Aubrey for bringing it up. So it's on the calendar for next Thursday, shielding and protection. Shielding and protection. Yes, I am. I'm trying to clean up my diet. Oh my God, I didn't realize how addictive sugar is. My body is going through junk food withdrawals, I think. Yeah. I would not. If you can switch to maple syrup, that would be better rather than cane sugar. Yeah. Because otherwise you're just making like a store-bought hot cocoa. Do you have access to maple syrup instead of cane sugar? I'm assuming you're having cane sugar. Yes, I can't wait. Aubrey's very excited. I'm really excited too. It's necessary. Hi, Hawaii. I love it. Hawaii. We love Hawaii. Isn't that funny? You said Hawaii, but you tried to say Zawadi. Everything happens for a reason. We do love Hawaii. That's so funny. Yeah, everybody needs to, everybody make sure you're hydrated. Now I'm curious to know what you've been eating, Angela. I'm actually doing an Ayurvedic session today. Yeah, if anybody ever needs help, you book yourself a session from my link. It's called Radiant You. It's an Ayurvedic session. It's all about your health. Hawaii, it's my confirmation. Hawaii, want to live there. Where in the islands? Everybody tell me. Yeah, I told myself to put a little honey instead, but then grab sugar. Don't put honey, maple syrup. Give your sugar away to someone. You want to be disciplined? Give your sugar away to someone. Can you give your sugar away? Tell me, Angela. Don't put honey. Put maple syrup. If you have access to it. I don't know where you are, but where in the islands does everybody want to live? Why does everybody want to live in Hawaii? Whoa. I went into outer space. I went into outer space. That was weird. That was so weird. You start talking about Hawaii and then you get sent all the way to outer space. I'm also still breastfeeding my daughter, so I don't know. My body is going a little crazy. Yeah, maybe cut down on some sugar. So you're not having, how often are you eating all the sugar? I want to visit more islands and see where feels best. Ah, that's a good idea. It's 11:11. This is the wadi maple syrup. Okay, I have that. I think I have no candy in my house. Yeah, use maple syrup instead of sugar, especially because yeah. Hold on. But you said you were also like cleaning up your eating. Wait till maple syrup over honey. I've been stuck using maple syrup for everything because I ran out of honey. Yeah. It depends on your dosha, but for the most part, like maple syrup has a lot more nutrients in it and it's cooling for the body, and most people are inflamed. Give your sugar away. My mind went somewhere else. Well, we are still on the mango channel. Yeah, I disappeared into the universe. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I just went like bing. I didn't want to leave. Was hoping you would come back. Yeah, I'm not gonna leave you high and dry. I'm like, what the hell? Where's everybody? Yeah, that was weird. It's weird energy lately. It stopped storming, so I don't know why the internet's acting weird. I think I need to ease into this. I like to make drastic changes overnight. Better for me to go cold turkey. All right. Okay. Yeah. I mean, maple syrup is free. I still recommend it. I still recommend it. Unless you're like a baking stuff, like I don't really keep sugar around, only maple syrup if like, you know, if I'm baking something that calls for sugar. But other than that, I don't really add it to anything. I don't eat it. Again, I've got like 4 seasonings. Maybe I'll try that for vata pitta, like for oatmeal and cacao. Yeah, maple syrup. Mm-hmm. Ideally, no syrup. But like if you're going to have some sort of sweetener, and also like I like to be mindful of people's exercising habits, and how often they move their body, if they're eating other junk food, like not having so much sugar in general is going to be advantageous. But I don't eat like, I don't really eat much of anything. So I do get my sugar that way and nutrients that way, but I also run and I'm very, very active. So my body does really well with it. But you know, it can be a good way for people to transition off of things if they need to, or like have like real maple syrup. Like, don't buy like off weird maple syrup that's not real maple syrup. It's just sugar. different type of sugar. I can't really handle pure cane sugar processed stuff, but that's what I grew up on. Yeah, no one can. It's not meant for anybody to eat. Processed food is not meant to be eaten. But then or certain process, even if you had cane sugar in the US and the way it's used and produced is very different than cane sugar from where it came from. It's used very differently. The US has a very one-track mind, mass-produced, addictive, obsessive, unhealthy view of food. And so it takes a lot of things that make people unhealthy and then put it into everything that they need. So then they start craving it. And then that's all you want to eat. But a lot of these foods, because that's the thing, it's not always the food itself. It's what people have done to the plants and how they packaged it, how they manufactured it, and how they put it into everything else. That's what happens. And so people need to learn how to eat quite simply so they can heal their body if they have access to be able to do that, because it's not oh, I hate sugar. No, you need sugar. You need sugar. But if people are addicted to sugar and addicted in certain forms and addicted to processed food, you need to come off of those things, right? So it's learning in that sense and being knowledgeable, I definitely want less sugar or really none, but I still eat food. So there's the natural sugar in it. Yeah, people, you need sugar to live. Yeah, you definitely need sugar to live. Beautiful souls. Oh, yay. Have fun picking up the tiny tot. We'll see you soon, Zawadi. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You just add it in. Add it in with time. I mean, you can there's nothing wrong with organic raw cane sugar, all that stuff, but it's still a little bit more complex to digest than say a maple syrup. And also you have to look at the structure when it's at its normal temperature as well. That also kind of helps. Sugar is snuck into so much. Yeah, it is. Corn is in everything. Yeah, too. Yeah. Yeah, eating at home, making your meals, or going to places where you know what they're putting into, learning how to read labels. You don't really have a lot of labels when you eat fresh. There's that. Yeah, so much corn and everything. I had some fresh from this week though, and it was amazing. Yeah, fresh corn is good. Fresh corn, delicious. Just reconditioning yourself, to take care of who you are, what you eat. But there's definitely that journey of kicking the habit and sitting in that energy of deep self-love. And everybody's journey is different, right? And everybody has different ways of healing. Some people can literally do things cold turkey and some people cannot, right? And you just have to honor that. You have to honor that and go with the journey. Definitely go with the journey. I've had clients who are very cold turkey and they just that's just how their personality is. And so they're nope, I want to go. I don't want it. And then I've had, clients who are no, I want to go at this pace, and that's fine too. It's perfectly fine to do whatever is best for your journey. I definitely feel in my life, I'm a little bit of both, but I'm mostly like a, at this stage in my life, I would say I'm definitely a cold turkey person. I feel like I've always kind of been that way, but with certain things, obviously, you know, needed a little extra time to process and let go and like train your body and all that sort of stuff. Really am big. Okay, I know. I feel like I'm gonna have to go. It keeps cutting out, and I want to do some things before I have to start teaching again. Clearly, maybe it's time for me to go. I quit smoking cold turkey when I was 19 and quit Adderall cold turkey because it was too addictive. Yeah, some stuff. I love that. Good for you and taking care of yourself. I know. Yeah, exactly. When we start sharing too many truths, they're like, shut her down. Shut the whole group down. Watch me freeze again. That would be hilarious. We broke the matrix. Now they're mad about it. They're like, what do you mean fresh food? Give them all the processed food. Because everybody who is a part of the processed city talks like that. Yeah. Well, it stopped storming. It's just cloudy. So I don't know why. I should probably get going. Actually, I need to trek somewhere. Yeah, yeah. Like yeah, your enlightened questions. Exactly. Got shut down real quick. Meanwhile, I'm watering my plants. I love that. Y'all are funny. Okay, I'm gonna get going, everybody. I'm gonna take a break, got some work to do, all the things. Get back to coaching. If I need to run some errands, slash, I might jump in the water on the way to my errand. What if it's, yeah, it doesn't look like it's raining. Either way, if it rains, it just feels like so refreshing. I mean, technically, it would change like the energy of it, but it's not going to change the inside of your body because it's like the molecules are already like shifted into a different structure, which your physical body is still going to take on. Like water holds memory, so you can drink water and also manifest things and have good energy be a part of it. But food is a different structure than water. Food is more dense. You can bless your food and things like that, but yeah, I mean, not that I know if you can bless your food and then it like changes to make you get skinny type of thing, but like you technically could recondition your mind to do that and perhaps you would actually change. Bye everybody. See you later. Bye.